All right, now we're going to go into the inhibitory techniques for shoulder impairment. First thing we're going to look at with Mike is we're going to look at shoulder impairment. We're going to address the lats. So we're going to create SMR, so the self-myofascial release to the latissimus dorsi. So what I do, we got Mike starting with this roller right underneath his axillaris at the line in his armpit. And it's going to add pressure into where the lats are. So, and it's the lats. There's some other muscles that are connecting in there. But notice that Mike is he's doing well by not rolling around. But what I might do is just try to get his lower body into a good position as well. So let me have you just straighten everything out there. Lower body, shift over, and now turn this kind of into an abdominal exercise. So tighten here. Use this as a kickstand just so he doesn't fall forward. And then this way, he can rotate forward a bit if he needs to, or rotate back probably a little bit to get a little bit more lat if he needs to. And now what I'll do is I'm going to have him use this leg and just push him forward. So he's going to have this kind of cephalic movement here where he can get a little bit lower. Now, one of the places that the lats attach, an insertion point, is the inferior angle of the scapula or shoulder blade. So if these are my hands or the scapula, the inferior angle is the bottom portion of it. So I'm going to have him roll down there and just clip the very bottom of that. Let's have you move forward just a little bit more. Good. Flip the bottom of it and then roll back on it a little bit too. And you're going to have these guys roll forward, roll back, up, down. Find a spot that's tender. Once you get to that spot, maintain that position. One of the issues a lot of people have, though, is maintaining a neutral cervical spine. Their head starts to get really tired. The scalene's ears start blowing up. So what you can do is a couple different positions. You can have Mike bend his elbow and just rest right there. Sometimes I don't like that as much because it does take pressure off of where he's rolling. So what I might do is have him make a fist. Perfect, he's on it. Put it right on his shoulder and just rest his head on his fist. That'll let his head relax, but it still puts plenty of pressure on him. Now, also, if you do not have good thoracic mobility, then you're not going to have good scapular mobility. So what I'll do is let me have you roll onto the roller, and let's get your thoracic spine. So again, people are kind of flexed at the office all day, hunched forward on the computers, hunched forward, watching TV. So I'm going to just have Mike get into this position. Make sure that your client's not arching their back. Sometimes I'll even just sit your butt down on the ground and just reach your thoracic spine over. Try to undo all of that office back position that people get into. So I like this position. I'm going to have him go into a little roll, and you can move up, move down. You may get a couple of cracks in there. All we're trying to do is just create some movement in the thoracic spine, get them out of this increased kyphosis. Another muscle we can go into also is we get Mike back into his lat position. It's just an easy turn. So if you go from your lats and say, Mike, let's just roll forward onto your pecs. So from there, you just move right forward onto the pectoralis major, pec minor area. So he's rolling right here, not kneading on it, just adding pressure to it, trying to get some relaxation, still neutral spine, abs drawn in, and a nice position in his core as he's adding pressure right there onto his pecs. So these are some techniques that you would use for shoulder impairment when you start using your inhibition process.